Creatine might be one of the most researched performance supplements on the planet, but taking it doesn't automatically guarantee better results. In fact, a few simple habits can turn a smart supplement routine into wasted money, stomach problems, or weeks of disappointing progress. First, understand what creatine actually does. Your muscles use phosphocreatine to rapidly rebuild ATP, the energy currency needed during short, explosive efforts like heavy lifting and sprinting. Creatine helps increase those stored reserves. And some of the advice you've heard about creatine is actually outdated. So instead of repeating gym myths, we're breaking down 13 mistakes that really matter and the science behind what you should do instead. Carbohydrates and protein may increase creatine retention through insulin, but that doesn't mean you need a giant sugary drink every time you take a scoop. Your biggest priority is simply getting your regular daily amount consistently. Mistake 12. Turning hydration into an obsession or ignoring it completely. Creatine pulls additional water into muscle cells, but research doesn't show that normal creatine use automatically causes dehydration. Just stay appropriately hydrated, especially when training hard or sweating heavily. Mistake 13. Believing creatine absolutely must be taken with food. Most people can absorb creatine perfectly well without a meal, but if taking it alone upsets your stomach, having it with food or splitting the dose can make things easier. Taking huge amounts doesn't magically create extra strength once muscle stores are saturated. It may simply increase the chance of digestive discomfort. The smarter strategy isn't maximum dosage. It's a dose you can take consistently. Mistake 11 is much more common, assuming more powder equals more muscle. For many adults, around 3 to 5 grams per day is commonly used. A loading phase can saturate muscles faster, but it's optional, not a requirement for results. Mistake 10. Treating creatine like a pre-workout that only matters on training days. Creatine works by gradually saturating muscle stores, so consistency matters more than whether today is leg day, Sunday, or a vacation. Missing one dose isn't a disaster, and your muscle creatine doesn't disappear overnight. But if supplementation is part of your routine, taking it regularly is much easier than constantly stopping and restarting.
Mistake 8. Setting an alarm because you think creatine has a magical 30-minute window. It doesn't. Research hasn't established a special time of day that clearly beats everything else. Morning, before training, after training, or with dinner can all work. Choose a time you'll remember. When a supplement depends on long-term muscle saturation, consistency beats obsessing over the clock.
Mistake 9. Buying the cheapest mystery powder you can find. With supplements, you're trusting what's inside the container, so manufacturing quality matters. Look for reputable companies with transparent ingredient lists and, ideally, independent third-party testing. Fancy packaging doesn't prove purity, and neither does an influencer holding the tub. What matters is knowing you're actually getting the ingredient and dose printed on the label. Mistake 7. Believing creatine becomes useless inside a protein shake or smoothie. That's another myth. You can mix creatine with water, juice, a shake, or another convenient drink. The practical problem is simply residue. If some powder sticks to the bottom, add another splash of liquid, swirl it, and drink it. You don't need perfect laboratory-level dissolution to absorb your creatine. And please, don't turn dry scooping into a challenge. Throwing dry powder directly into your mouth offers no meaningful advantage and creates an unnecessary choking or inhalation risk. Creatine isn't supposed to be exciting. Mix it into enough liquid, drink it normally, and move on with your day. The boring routine is usually the sustainable one, and sustainability is what eventually produces results. This matters because supplement marketing loves complexity. If one company sells ordinary creatine and another promises an ultra-absorbing next-generation molecule at 3 times the price, the expensive story can sound more convincing. But your muscles don't care about marketing language. Start with the option supported by the largest body of evidence. Then judge your routine by performance, tolerance, and consistency, not hype. Mistake 6. Assuming a more expensive type of creatine must be more advanced. Creatine hydrochloride, buffered formulas, and other variations are heavily marketed. But creatine monohydrate remains the form with the strongest research history. It's effective, widely available, and usually inexpensive. Unless you have a specific reason to choose something else, monohydrate is the simple starting point for most people. Mistake 5. Treating a supplement like it exists outside your medical history. Healthy adults generally tolerate creatine well, but that's not the same as saying every person should automatically take it. If you have kidney disease, another significant medical condition, you're pregnant, or you use medications that could affect kidney function, discuss supplementation with a qualified healthcare professional before starting. Mistake 4. Confusing normal changes with dangerous ones, or ignoring genuine problems. An early increase on the scale can happen because creatine increases water inside muscle tissue. That doesn't automatically mean you've gained fat. Mild stomach upset can also occur, particularly with larger doses. But persistent or severe symptoms deserve attention rather than another scoop and a motivational quote. Mistake 3. Expecting to feel like a superhero tomorrow morning. Creatine isn't a stimulant. You probably won't feel an instant surge after drinking it. Without a loading phase, muscle creatine stores rise gradually over several weeks. With loading, saturation can happen faster. Either way, evaluate progress over weeks of consistent training, not after 2 workouts while staring impatiently at the mirror. If something feels seriously wrong, don't diagnose yourself through gym comments. Stop and get appropriate medical advice, particularly if symptoms are significant, persistent, or accompanied by things like unusual swelling or major changes in how you feel. Supplements are optional. Your health isn't. And remember that a blood test called creatinine can sometimes change when someone takes creatine, so tell your clinician what supplements you use. Mistake 2. Expecting creatine to compensate for weak training. Creatine can support repeated high-intensity effort, but it doesn't lift the weight for you. Your muscles still need progressive resistance, adequate recovery, and enough time to adapt. Think of creatine as upgrading the battery inside a machine. If you never challenge the machine, having a slightly better battery doesn't accomplish much. And mistake number 1? Believing the supplement is more important than your diet. Creatine can help, but it can't replace enough calories, protein, carbohydrates, micronutrients, or healthy eating habits. If muscle growth is your goal, training provides the signal, nutrition provides the building material, sleep provides recovery, and creatine is simply one tool that may help the entire process work a little better. So here's the simple creatine routine most people actually need. Choose reputable creatine monohydrate, use a sensible daily serving, take it consistently, mix it however you prefer, drink fluids according to your normal needs, train progressively, eat well, and give the process time. That's far less exciting than most supplement marketing, but it also removes almost every unnecessary complication we covered today. Creatine isn't magic, but used intelligently, it can be useful. Train hard, stay consistent, and don't let supplement myths make a simple strategy complicated. Subscribe for more science-based fitness breakdowns.